Some of y'all have been requesting and or recommending that I do a review of the new LL Cool J album. What's it called? Force. Nope. I will not. I've been hearing too many bad things about the album. And I will not, I repeat, I will not get on YouTube and be disrespecting the big homie, the GOAT, the nigga who came up with the term GOAT. I'm not going to do that, right? If I don't have nothing good to say, I won't say nothing at all. We're going to take advice from our parents. No, I don't always. Be honest, I don't always follow that policy, but now's the perfect time. I will talk about the song Murdergram. I like that song. I actually, I'm gonna say something possibly controversial, right? I think Eminem is a first of all, Murdergram is a LL song featuring Eminem. I think Eminem is a better lyricist than LL. You know, I just do. I mean, I don't. Do I need to offer an explanation? It's just my opinion, right? But I like LL better on that song than I like Eminem. Do I need to offer an explanation, or is just that being my opinion, just that suffice? I mean, like the I did an album review on the Death of Slim Shady, and in hindsight, what I like the most about that album is the familiarity effect. Like he brought Slim Shady back to kill him. You understand what I'm saying? To clip him. So that that familiarity, that the Eminem that we all quote unquote fell in love with, we got to experience that again. You know what I'm saying? That version of Eminem wasn't the version on the Murdergram song with LL Cool J. And you know, LL was in pocket. You understand what I'm saying? Like, ain't no nigga gonna get on a track with Eminem and play around, right? Like, that's just not that's against the rules, right? And LL was in pocket, you know what I'm saying? He was the video is dope, but just the way he was rapping, like I didn't write down or memorize any of the lyrics, but just the way L was L was flowing, he had a lot of words per bar compared to what he usually does. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times rapping fast gives the illusion that you're rapping better, but that's not always the case. But it was the case here. Him rapping faster than I'm used to him rapping was fire. I mean, technically Eminem was rapping faster than he was. But I still like L's, you know what I'm saying, his jump, his verse better. His bars better. There is a such thing as going too fast. You know what I'm saying? Like Twista being legendarily, I'm pretty sure Twista is probably one of, if not the fastest rapper we got, right? But you give up something for that. And not only is Twista a fast rapper, Twista really be saying some shit in his raps. But most people miss a lot of it. You get caught up in the flow and delivery and you don't hear all of the dope things he be saying. And you might mistakenly you might think some other nigga that rap not as fast as him, but don't be saying as much as him. Like he don't rap as fast, and he don't be saying doper shit. But you may think he's better because you can understand him. You understand what I'm saying? That's a thing. That's a thing. So yeah, like Eminem, and we all know, I think I've made it clear on this platform that I'm a big Eminem fan. You know what I'm saying? So this is no slander. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? On the on the Fuel album, on the Fuel song on the Eminem on the Death of Slim Shady, I actually think I like JID verse a little bit better than Eminem's. And mind you, Eminem said crazier things, but this reminds me of a debate I had with DJ with Infamous Amadeus from the Punchline Academy, right? We had a debate about long verses, like 100-bar verses. I don't really like them. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the only thing that really hurt Eminem in this. You know what I'm saying? Eminem was up to all his old dirty tricks. You know, he dissed P. Diddy, he dissed this one, that one, blah, blah, blah. But the verse was wow long. You know what I'm saying? It feels like it's twice the length of JID's joint. Pause. Pause, protesters. Get your ass out of here. The rest of y'all, welcome to the nation. Monster Nation, that is. I'm your tour guide, I'm your host, I'm the president, I'm the king around here. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, for all notifications. If you're trying to be a taxpaying citizen in the nation, then send us a super thanks or a Cash App. We actually prefer the Cash App, and the Cash App link or tag will be in the description along with the Bandcamp link for those of you who would rather hear me rapping than to hear me yapping. I got all kind of mixtapes there. I got wild stuff on it. Rockin' Out West, Shell Shock, Slinging Rock, Volume 1. Volume 2 is on the way. I could drop it right now if I felt like it. Matter of fact, I should drop it this week. Should drop it on a Monster Monday, right? But anyway, it's all there. The info will be in the description. Also, Crownsville is out. It's the album between me and my brother Rusty Jukes. You know what I'm saying? We got two current singles off of right now. Sean Lives On and the title song Crownsville. There's another single that we put out months back with the entire boot camp on there, and it's called What You Call Strength. So get involved with that. Run those numbers up. And what was I saying over here? Oh, so yeah. I personally don't usually like long ass verses. That's not my thing. You understand what I'm saying? And I felt like, Eminem, that's what he did on the song with JID. But anyway, I done ran down the rabbit hole off topic. What I'm saying is this. On this song, LL's verse, I actually, he's rapping faster than he usually does, but and it's doper. It just is dope. Like I like his verse better. Salute to Eminem, salute to LL Cool J. I will get around to listening to the album. It's hard being a rapper and a real blogger. I think I'm a real blogger right now. I'm not a real journalist because I'm biased and I'm not talking about everything. I'm only talking about what I feel like talking about. And and I have to say it wasn't that much that I felt like talking about today. But what reminded me that I wanted to talk to y'all about this was I was looking at a Vlad interview, right, with Tony Yayo, and he was talking about LL Cool J's top 5 Def Jam artists. And, I'm looking at I'm watching the interview. I'm like, okay, there's some spice to this. You understand what I'm saying? Because y'all like spice. Y'all don't, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's just struggle, you know what I'm saying? It's just trying to be my normal, pleasant, zenful self. You know what I'm saying? And stay in this algorithm, you know what I'm saying? And get good numbers is a struggle for you niggas. See, I like spice. So anyway, I figured, Yayo was calling Vlad names and all sorts of things. because of his take on the situation. I'm like, okay, that's spice enough. Let me watch this right here. And I'm checking it out, and LL's top 5 Def Jam, well, not top 5, his Mount Rushmore, excuse me, correct myself. His Def Jam's Mount Rushmore in the eyes of LL Cool J. He said himself, he said Beastie Boys, he says Slick Rick and Republic Enemy, right? And then, you know, yeah, it was like, what about Run DMC? So on and so forth, right? Then Vlad begins to insert his opinion. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you wouldn't say DMX or Jay-Z, and yeah, it was like those are different eras. It don't make no sense. You know, you can't blah 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 blah, right? And that was a point that Yayo touched on, pause, at numerous moments in the interview. But it was this one moment where he was like, he was going down the list, he was like, all right, he said such and such, he named the 4 people, whatever. And then Vlad brought up somebody else, and he was like, yo, but that's a different era. And Vlad was like, but it's Mount Rushmore. Sorry, Vlad. I just ain't like your energy on that one right there. But he was like, but it's but that's let me and let me harp on that point. But it's Mount Rushmore. Is the real Mount Rushmore that all of you all of y'all are using to compare our millions of great, all of our greatness to these 4 people, right? Is that wall, is Mount Rushmore still being chiseled? That shit was established in an era a long time ago, wasn't it? You couldn't add nobody who came after that, pause, to that mountain, could you? So why do we expect to choose 4 niggas? I don't even like the Mount Rushmore theory in general. Like, I'm almost positive every person on the mountain has slaves, but that Lincoln. Anyway, 3 out of the 4 of them niggas, I'm sure. Anyway, or almost sure. But anyway, as I was saying, it's like the Mount Rushmore the whole thing, like niggas army. Can we put whoever your favorite president is now on the Mount Rushmore? Y'all like Obama, right? I mean, I call myself Big Rock Obama, but this is Monster Nation, right? But anyway, like, y'all rock with Obama, right? Can you put Obama on Mount Rushmore now? Is that possible? So that just, I mean, like in my opinion, that just goes to show like the stupidity of that whole concept. That and top 10 and top 5 lists. I don't rock with none of them. You got to make them more specific. You gotta. And when Yayo was saying, like, if you could do a top 10 of the 80s, or a top 5 of the 80s, or a top 5 of the 90s, or whatever, that makes more sense. I'm not sure if that's completely better, but that definitely makes a lot more sense than all you niggas talking that top 5, top anything shit. That shit ain't nothing but a tool to get niggas talking and arguing. Ain't no right answer to this shit, except for a top 5 in the 80s. I do agree that there's a top 5 in the 80s. I'm just saying, I know. And this is, I'm speaking completely from my bias, but back in the 80s, it wasn't as many rappers as it is now. You know what I'm saying? Or a Mount Rushmore from the 80s. That's a simple question for me to answer. Kane, Rakim, G-Rap, and KRS-One. Those were the forefathers. Those were the forefathers of lyricism to me. In the 80s, that was it. Did G-Rap come out in the 80s, or did he didn't show up to the 90s? I'm not good with dates, but that class right there, that's the Yeah. And if you had to add a top 5 on that, I would be stuck. Pause. But anyway, what say you? How y'all feel about top 5s? Do y'all feel like do you feel that they're in like did you feel like two people can two, I'm not even asking for 10. I'm not less than more the culture of hip hop. Do you think anybody do you think two people could ever agree on a top 5? I know the answer is most likely no, right? So if that's the answer, then why do we keep having this topic? I blame Jadakiss.